Three tiers of software development in 2026. And one of them won't exist in 2 years. Most developers think they're safe. They think AI is just a tool, a better autocomplete. They're wrong. The software industry is splitting into 3 very different tiers, and if you are building in the wrong one, your job is on borrowed time. Let me explain. Tier 1 is AI native development. This is Cursor, Bolt, V0 Devin, agent-written pull requests. AI writes entire features, the human orchestrates. You describe what you want in natural language, AI generates the implementation, tests, and documentation. Your job isn't to type code anymore. It's to validate, steer, and decide what to build. Tools like Cursor already let you spin up parallel AI agents inside your IDE. They analyze your codebase, understand your architecture, and write multi-file implementations. GitHub Copilot's workspace mode does the same. The developer acceptance rate on AI suggestions has climbed from 30% to over 50% in just 2 years. This is not the future, this is happening right now. Tier 1 developers aren't coders anymore. They're architects and reviewers. They spend more time reading code than writing it. And they produce more output than 10 traditional developers. Tier 1 is small but growing fast. Maybe 10 to 15% of developers today. But it's the fastest growing segment by far. Tier 2 is traditional full-stack development. This is the classic web developer. Building CRUD apps. Wiring up databases to APIs to frontends. Writing boilerplate authentication flows. Standard e-commerce sites. Content management systems. Internal dashboards. Mobile apps with standard patterns. This is where the vast majority of developers sit today. Maybe 60 to 70% of the industry. And this tier is the most automatable. Think about it. What does a typical full-stack developer do? They take a user story, turn it into a database migration, an API endpoint, a service layer, a front-end component, and tests. The patterns are well documented, there's massive training data for AI models, and the output is predictable. Bolt and V0 already generate entire web applications from a single prompt. Not prototypes, production-ready apps with authentication, databases, deployment configs. Cursor's agent mode can build full-stack features across your entire codebase in minutes. The gap between describe what you want and get a working application has collapsed. In 2024, it took a team of 3 developers 3 months to build a standard SaaS application. In 2025, it took 1 developer with AI tools 1 week. In 2026, it takes 1 prompt and 20 minutes of review. This is why Tier 2 won't exist in 2 years. Not because developers will be unemployed, but because the job description will be unrecognizable. Traditional full-stack developer, the person who manually wires up every route, writes every SQL query by hand, types every component from scratch, that role is being automated away. The economics are brutal. Why pay a team of 10 developers $1.2 million a year to build standard CRUD apps when one developer with AI tools can do the same work in a fraction of the time for a fraction of the cost? Companies are already making this calculation. The AI code generation market was $4.9 billion in 2024 and is projected to hit $30 billion by 2032, a 27% compound annual growth rate. 41% of all code worldwide is already AI-generated. GitHub Copilot users complete 126% more projects per week. The writing is on the wall. But here's where it gets interesting. Tier 3. Tier 3 is hard infrastructure. Systems programming, operating systems, database engines, game engines, embedded systems, real-time control software, safety-critical code, performance-sensitive algorithms. The stuff where a single mistake can cost millions of dollars or human lives. This is where human expertise still dominates. And it will for a long time. Why? Because AI models are trained on existing code. And there's very little training data. For novel systems architecture, AI can write a standard Express.js API endpoint because there are millions of examples. It can write a CRUD controller because there are billions of lines of training data. But can it design a new database storage engine? Can it optimize a real-time audio processing pipeline for specific hardware? Can it architect a distributed consensus algorithm that's provably correct? Not yet. And the gap is closing much slower than people think. AI can help with Tier 3, it can generate tests, suggest optimizations, catch common bugs. But it cannot replace the deep expertise needed to build and maintain critical infrastructure. The stakes are higher, the patterns are less standardized, and the consequences of mistakes are severe. Tier 3 developers won't be replaced. They'll be enhanced. AI as a tool, not a replacement. The senior systems engineer who understands memory layout, cache hierarchies, and lock-free data structures, they're more valuable than ever. So here's the big picture. In 2026, the software industry is polarizing. Tier 1 AI native is producing exceptional output with tiny teams. Tier 2 traditional full stack is being automated away faster than most people realize. Tier 3 hard infrastructure is where human expertise still commands a premium. The developers who thrive will be the ones who recognize this shift and adapt. If you are in Tier 2, and most developers are, the question isn't whether AI will affect your job. It's whether you'll move up to Tier 1 or stay in the shrinking middle. Move to AI native. Learn to orchestrate agents, not write boilerplate. Learn to validate AI output, not type code character by character. The future isn't about coding, it's about engineering at a higher level of abstraction. Or move to hard infrastructure. Go deep on systems programming, embedded, performance-critical work. The expertise barrier protects you. But don't stay in the middle. Because the middle is disappearing. This is Rumi from NM8. If this reframed how you think about your career, hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.